As a home seller, after the transaction is closed, after all is said and done, the last question you want to ask yourself is, could I have gotten more money? Unfortunately, more often than not, most sellers don't have clarity at the end of the transaction, which leads them to ask these questions. Could I have gotten more? Are we sure we got the highest possible price? Did we leave money on the table? In this 3-part video series, I'm going to go over the 3 things that we do to ensure that our clients are never left to wonder, could I have gotten more money? And are always sure at the end of the transaction that they got the highest possible price. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Danny Gould. I'm the CEO of the Selling Silicon Valley Group. Over the last 8 years after graduating from Stanford University, I've helped well over 200 families buy and sell homes here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and over $200 million worth of real estate sold in that time. You can check us out on Google, over 255-star reviews. And in that time, in those 8 years, I have created a strategy that effectively leaves no doubt in the seller's mind that they sold their home for the highest possible price. So let's get into that. So the first part, which traditionally most agents are going to sell you on marketing being the most important part and the most important value that they bring to the table, which actually I disagree with. I would say that the 2 other components to this strategy are much more effective and much more important to your bottom line than the marketing. Because let's face it, the internet has brought parity to marketing. You press a button and everyone in the world knows that this home is for sale. So what can we do differently? Well, there's a few things that I do differently on the marketing side of things to ensure that we're not just exposing the home willy-nilly, but really focusing the marketing and gearing it towards the kind of buyer that we think is going to buy your home. So the first step into ensuring and making sure that you feel like you have left 0 money on the table and that you truly gotten the highest possible price is to reverse engineer the profile and or profiles of the kinds of buyers that we feel are going to buy your property. That's a pretty simple exercise. You and I, we sit down at the table and we start to brainstorm together. There are certain things that I know to be true for certain neighborhoods. So I will come to the table with what I've seen, but then also you being the boots on the ground, having lived in that neighborhood for 5, 10, 15, 20, God knows how many years, you probably have a pretty good idea of who's moving into the neighborhood right now. Are there a lot of investment properties in the neighborhood? Some neighborhoods are very investment heavy. And so these are things that we need to consider when listing the home, because yes, while we can press a button and everyone knows about it, we want to position the home correctly. And the marketing is the positioning of the home. It's not just exposure, but it's also how we position it, how we gear the marketing. What does the copy look like online? What are the pictures saying about the house? What is the video saying about the house? Can we gear and fine-tune the messaging to attract the kinds of buyers that we believe are most likely going to buy your home? The answer is yes. The answer is always yes. And knowing how to fine-tune the marketing in that way is the artistry part of it. Now, when done properly, the marketing is going to do such a good job for us that we're going to get a flurry of interest. And it's important in those moments to not get carried away and start hyperventilating, so to speak, and get distracted from the ultimate objective. What is the ultimate objective? The ultimate objective in marketing is to create buzz. It's to reposition the home in the minds of the buyers to think of it as more than just another house. And so in tandem with reverse engineering on the marketing side of things is to also limit the windows in which buyers can actually physically enter the home. And in part 3 of this series, I'm going to show you how all of this comes together. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up while you're at it so that you can get notified when we upload part 2 and part 3 to the series. Most agents, most sellers have been sold this false idea that you need to make the home available for the buyers to come whenever they want. Well, that's not actually, from just like a simple economic theory standpoint, smart. Let me just give a very simple example. Barry Buyer. Barry Buyer comes to your house on Thursday morning at 11 a.m. And in the total absence of competition, he starts to ask questions like, I wonder how much the seller would take for this property. And, I wonder how long that stain in the ceiling has been there. Small, trivial things like that, things of that nature. We take that same Barry Buyer and put him in a room full of competition, say on a Saturday at 2 p.m. during the open house when there's tons of people inside the home is buzzing. By limiting the showings, Barry buyer is now in the same house, but instead his attention flows to the competition that's currently at the property. Because as human beings, we're just programmed to think that everyone else is like us. So Barry buyer walks into a house full of 50 people. In which scenario do you think Barry's going to offer more for the property? In the total absence of competition, or where there's 50 other people inside the home? Great marketers can alter the perceived demand on a home, and there's no better way to do that than by limiting the amount of time slots or windows that the buyers can come see the property. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule, like if a buyer is headed out of town or something, so then we'll make special arrangements, but 99% of the time, we are limiting showings to only allow buyers to come through the property when we know there's going to be foot traffic from open houses and other sources. So by reverse engineering the marketing and the messaging to the kinds of buyers that we believe are going to buy the property, and then in turn limiting the amount of times that the buyers can actually access the home to increase the perceived demand on the property, that's really where we see a lot of success in terms of generating the most amount of buzz and offers possible. Now, we've really only scratched the surface with our marketing strategies, so if you'd like a full breakdown on our marketing, you can text the words 6-day sprint. That's 6-day sprint to the number down below, and we'll send you a full breakdown of our marketing approach here at SSV. And of course, if you'd like to see if our marketing approach is a good fit for you and for your property, if you're thinking about selling your home, you can go ahead and reach out to us at the number down below as well. Make sure to follow and subscribe for parts 2 and 3 of this series. This is Danny Gould, everyone. I'm selling Silicon Valley, and I will catch all of you in the next video.